Darkness is approaching, and some doors should never be opened, but some have already been opened. Your warning. This story is inspired by an event that was reportedly documented in the past. Since the authorities have chosen to remain silent on the matter, some names and locations have been deliberately altered. However, escaping the truth is impossible. John Carter was a blog writer investigating paranormal events and urban legends. He had previously visited abandoned hospitals, haunted houses, and crime scenes. But this time, Blackwood Forest was far beyond anything he had ever encountered. Blackwood Forest, a region in northern Scotland, hidden among misty hills where no one had dared to venture for centuries. The locals believed that the forest was under the influence of a dark force. Ancient records spoke of witch trials where the accused were burned alive and some souls never found peace. According to legends, those who entered the forest lost their sense of time. Some claimed that a short walk lasted days, while others returned looking as if years had passed. Villagers reported hearing moans and screams coming from the forest at night. 10 p.m. John and Angus stepped into Blackwood Forest. As they moved deeper, the air grew colder. The trees loomed taller and shadows twisted in the fog. Then, something caught their attention. Deep claw marks, carved into the trees. John lifted his camera. The moment he hit record, the footage glitched. Static filled the screen. When it returned to normal, faint white figures appeared, flickering, almost invisible. Suddenly, Angus tripped. As John rushed to help him, he saw it. A decayed hand buried in the ground, and that hand moved. Its eyes opened, and it grabbed John's wrist. A deafening scream echoed through the forest. John's body convulsed. A thick black liquid dripped from his mouth. His breath became erratic. Angus ran, but behind him, John's screams were turning into something else. By morning, they found John's body. His eyes had been gouged out. His limbs were twisted unnaturally. His jaw unhinged. It was as if he had been reshaped. John's final recording revealed something terrifying. A shadow, watching him, motionless, silent. But as John collapsed, it moved. The last frame showed John being dragged into the darkness. Angus turned himself in. In the interrogation room, he was trembling. "It's here," he whispered. "It followed me." The officer leaned in. "What did you see?" Angus froze. His breathing stopped. His eyes widened. Then he choked. His hands clutched his throat. His body convulsed. He gasped for air. His veins turned black. And suddenly, he collapsed, dead. The security cameras had recorded everything, but no one had touched him. Yet something was there. In the footage, in the corner of the room, a shadow moved. When the police reviewed the tape, each officer claimed to see something different. One saw a faceless figure behind Angus. Another swore that Angus had no reflection, but one officer refused to watch it a second time. He only whispered, "It blinked at me." Can legends truly be real? Or are we already part of the story? If you seek the unknown, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave your thoughts in the comments. In Joseph City, the whispers never fade, the fear never dies.